Talk about Mexican Independence Day. We can call this Teddy Atlas here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You heard from the champion himself, knocking out the competition.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And I'm like our guest today, ring announcer, Marco Rodrigues, and ring girl model, entrepreneur, CHELLY Rivas. We're simply knocking out the competition. Before we get started, I want to thank our sponsor, Corona. Hey, whenever you want to feel good and whenever you're in the mood to have a drink along with a safe driver, Corona beer is the best beer in the world. And I'll tell you this right now. Thank you, Corona.
Man, you just gotta make us want a Corona right now.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. And I got this in the mail today. This is one of our other sponsors. It's called Marky's Boxing and Fitness. It's on 1117 South Pacific Avenue, San Pedro, California, 90731. And make sure you give Marky a call. And I'm going to open this up.
Well, let's see what it is.
Yeah, let's see what it is. Well, there we go. Marky
tape.
now has his own tape, hand wraps rather, tape.
Yep.
And they can be purchased at Big Five in Walmart. So, hey, talking about entrepreneur, Marky's doing his thing. And you know what? Marky likes to call me like at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when he's feeling good, drinking, having a good time. And yeah, he's a good dude. So let's just get started.
Very good dude.
Hey, let's talk about this weekend that just passed by. First, I want to start off with you, Marco. You were asked to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And, you know, because I know how stressful it could be ring announcing. There's changes all the time. You got to make sure you say their name right. But you were asked to come into the commentator's booth, and you did a great job.
Oh, thank you for that. I mean, like I told you that night, I followed your lead. You know, we didn't really get a chance to talk or say what was going to happen, but you know, luckily you were able to string me along and try to, you know, kind of help me out. Cause yeah, that was my first time ever doing that part of the business. I've been doing the ring announcing for a while, but that was the first time that I did that. And I'm glad you were next to me because it helped me out.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you and don't take offense to it. I was trying to get a hold of CHELLY. I was trying to get her attention. She just thought I was waving at her. She just waved at me because I was going to say, hey, get in the booth real quick.
Oh.
And that would have been something, huh? We could have traded off going in the booth, out the booth. All you guys would have been doing double duty. And sometimes that's what it requires to, you know, a teamwork, team effort. And when you got a perfection of an organization, of a promotion like Marv Nation, there is no other nation besides Marv Nation. You want to always give it your best and surround yourself with nothing but professionals. And Saturday, that's what we all did.
The only issue with CHELLY though is she wouldn't have been able to be in the ring if she was with you. She would have had to jump up quick. That would have been a lot harder than what I had to do. At least I'm only the beginning and the end. She would have had to be going. Sorry, I got to go in the ring and come right back.
Yeah, you know, that's a great point.
It's possible.
Or maybe she would have gave up the ring cards and kept the mic on. So we never know.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
So CHELLY, tell us about
I don't know. Everything's possible.
Yeah, anything is possible, and we'll make it work. Tell us about your day today. I was talking to you off camera, and you said, yeah, it was pretty productive. I was out there because you're a businesswoman.
Yeah. So I just stay busy. I sell cars. With my mom, we have a cleaning business, and just being out there and just, you know, being in the industry, the whole modeling, all this good stuff. There's just so much work and I'm very blessed to be from LA. So I mean, every day it's pretty busy out here.
Yeah. And you know, and you're on the grind and, you know, sometime in the show, I'm going to ask you, about what you were talking about earlier, that you wanted to be inside of the ring, participating, boxing at one time. We're going to get to that later on in the show. Marcos, where did the ring announcing start from? I mean, because I'm watching you and you're very poised. You're on top of things. You're witty, and you're just so. What I've noticed about you, what I'm impressed about, is how relaxed you are inside that ring.
I mean, that actually took time. Obviously, when you first start out, it's it's nerve wracking. So the way I got started is I have obviously my regular 9 to 5 job, but I've loved boxing since I was a kid because of my dad. I've been going to fights since I was young. So I always thought to myself, how can I be part of like a boxing promotion or a show? And I've always loved to sing, so I sing like a lot of mariachi music and stuff like that. So I go, you know what? I have a pretty good voice. I go, why don't ring announcing looks pretty easy enough. Little did I know that it's not that easy. Once you get in there the first couple of times, it's pretty nerve wracking. And the funny thing about me is I'm pretty introverted, so being in front of people and like talking like that it used to be stressful, but I've learned. But the way I got into it, it's a very interesting story. So I said, how do I get into it? I started Googling different ring announcers in the area. I would just email. I started emailing different ones where I could find an email or a phone number.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't get a lot of replies, but one ring announcer did reply, and you may know who he is. I know Shelly knows him, Joe Martinez. So Joe,
One
he
of the
does a lot
best
of
in
the
the
Golden
world.
Boy. He does one of the best in the world. I agree. I totally agree. So he
He's
literally
actually, I don't mean
replied
to
to me. He
interrupt
didn't
you,
even
but
reply.
he's actually underrated. He should be, and he's in the top
Oh,
three in my hand right here. He's in the top three, definitely.
to me, yeah, I would agree. Might even put him in the top two, but that's just me. But he literally just he told me he replied to me and said, "Call me." I called him. At the time, he was doing PA announcer for the Lake Elsinore Storm, which is a minor league baseball team. And he said, "What are you doing today?" And I said, "Well, I'm working." "Well, could you leave early?" "Yeah." So I asked my boss, left early, drove to Lake Elsinore from Orange County, met him there for the first time, and I think he kind of wanted to test me. So it was about the third inning. He says, "All right, jump on the mic. You're going to do the next inning." I was watching and sure enough, I jumped in there and did my thing, and we talked for a little bit after the game. And he said, "All right, I do Golden Boy fight night clubs. We have some amateurs that start before the pros. I'm going to bring you in, and you just do the amateur shows." And that's where it started. And he kind of took me under his wing and showed me everything he knows. And I've kind
Wow.
of done the same thing when we have other ring announcers that come in to Marv Nation. I kind of show them what I know because I want to pass along, the knowledge that he gave me. So shout out Joe, if you're watching this, we still, we're still great friends. We've become great friends. We talk all the time. So I'm gonna tell him I gave him a shout out here. See if he'll watch it. But yeah, that's how it started, and here we are,
Absolutely.
10 years later.
And Marco, I didn't say he was three, so I'll let you think about that when I said he's in the top three.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, exactly. And wow, I wish I would have had somebody helping me. I just jumped in and I lied on my resume. They asked, "Have you ever ring announced?" And um, I just said, "Yeah, I've done plenty of shows. I've done this show. I've done that show." And so then they asked, do you have a reel?" And I was like, "Okay." So basically, this guy
That's where
called me on the
yeah.
phone, and my audition was on the phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And see, and that's how I've heard other stories like that from other ring announcers. As you know, being a ring announcer is not a lot of people that do it. So a lot of us know each other a little bit, follow each other on IG. To me,
That's
there's
good.
no hate. There's some out there that do have some hate, but that's not in my nature.
Oh
Um,
yes,
so,
there is.
so
There
to
is.
me, I'm just, I just do my thing and stay in my lane. And luckily, Joe, yeah, he guided me. So that really helped me a lot.
Well, shout out to Joe. Wow,
Shout out
that
Joe.
is a great story, man. Shelly, let me ask you this: what got my attention was just not what gets everybody's attention once you're inside the ring, is when you said, "I really wanted to box." I mean, where did that come from, and when did that stop, and when did you make the transition?
So this started like in 2017, when I wanted to work at a boxing gym to get free training. So that's how that happened. And then I started training, and it was really fun.
Was
And
it fun?
growing up, like, oh my God, it was so fun. It was so fun. Just the energy I was
Yeah.
around. It was Legends Boxing Gym. So I was the energy that it's so exciting because I seen so many boxers we all had like the same kind of, not dreams, but like motivation and hope, I guess you could say dreams.
Yeah.
So it's just so, my destiny, I guess, was to be a ring girl. So that's what I am. But now that I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I remember when I used to be with, this boxer, and they still didn't have a world title. And we were, so it's nice to say that I grew and, with a lot of great boxers, and just not only boxers, like just a lot of people in the industry. So yeah, I wanted to be a boxer, but hey, everything happens for a reason. I'm very happy being a ring girl. I have the energy. I smile all the time, and I have the best seats in the house, and that's for sure.
You
So
do.
I love it. I remember going to boxing fights when I was working at the gym, and I would like sneak. I would sneak it, like sneak to get a better seat in the house. So now it's just funny how I'm just like, I don't have to sneak in. Like I don't, now I just walk in, like VIP, boom, my chair's right there, and it's really nice. But I do want to say something that like I've been manifesting since 2020 when COVID
Let's
happened.
hear it.
So when COVID happened, we had to shut down the gym. So I remember calling Roger Ruiz, and I was like, "Hey, like, is there any way I could buy some gym equipment?" Well, little did I know that he was willing to sell me at a great price a lot of mostly all the gym equipment. So I have a lot of gym equipment that wasn't like, I'm talking about boxing bags of all kinds. I have the equipment from Legends Boxing that was once in Norwalk and once was the biggest boxing gym that we've all heard of. So I plan later on in the future when I retire to open up my own boxing gym, for my city, because I'm from Downey, California. There's no boxing gym here in my city. So once I'm done, I can't wait to see like the new generation, have a boxing gym here in the city. So that's gonna be nice. But sometimes you plan something and something else comes out of it. So it's nice. But yeah, I love fighting, and it's like exciting.
It's a rush,
So
huh?
I'm just like, it's like never too late, but it kind of is, and it's just like, I just got so much going
Well, how about an
on in
exhibition
my
match?
life that
I mean,
I,
are
I
you interested
respect.
in an exhibition match with another ring girl? That can be possible.
Yeah, I actually, it's so funny, but I've been wanting to do that for a long time, but it is what it is.
Let me ask you this. Let me
It's
ask you this,
boxing,
Shelly. I'm going to ask you:
being in
would you
camp.
do it?
It's
Would you consider doing it? An exhibition?
Yeah, I did call out, like in other interviews, like girls, but it's kind of like, okay, boxers, much respect. It's when you're in camp, I mean, you give up everything, you
Yes.
know what I mean? Like, and right now I have so much going on that I was so close to going to Indio to go train and camp and whatever for I don't know how many months, and I can't, I'm holding on to so much things. I go to auctions, I flip cars for a living. So so it's just kind of like, come on, like, I don't know how to manage I need help, like, with the managing, but anything's possible. I will say I would do it. I would love to do that, like, no questions asked. It's just like, like, I don't know. I think it's something I've been thinking about for a very long time. And it's something that it just hasn't, the stars haven't lined up for that for me yet.
Well, I'll tell you this: when you do that, you got to think big. You got to think huge. So why not have an exhibition with one of the Kardashians?
Yeah, it's so funny. So I would love to, I did call out somebody that's an artist, but at the time after I did it, or right before I did it, she had gotten in a fight, and I was like, not everybody likes violence. Like, not everybody has that, like, like, oh, I want to fight, like, in them. So, but I would love to see somebody
Well, when
want to
that
fight me too.
happens and you're being introduced, of course it has to be Marco. When you ask for your own ring announcer, I don't care if it's so and so that has a gig or whatever, but when you get announced, it has to be Marcos right here. I mean, Marcos, I'm sure you would
Oh
just
yeah.
kill it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, of
yeah.
course.
Hmm.
I would give her a great intro. I don't know, Richard, if you've had a chance to see at some of the Marv Nation shows. Shelly has gone up to the Torque Law canopy and hit that boxer machine.
Oh, really? I
And
haven't
I
seen
don't know
that.
about anybody else, but she's got some pop. She's got some power. Yeah, and with her long nails, I go, "How are you gonna do that with your long nails?" And sure enough, she went up there and she's like hitting
I gotta
like
see it next
800
time.
or something like that. I'm like, Jesus.
Shelly, I
And
gotta
you
take
see, it's
that
like,
and I gotta put that on YouTube and I just gotta send that out, man. I gotta check that out sometime.
Yeah, she's got some power.
yeah, I just, yeah,
So
I don't know.
let me ask you this: how did you guys meet? How did you guys become? Was it through Marv Nation? Did you guys know each other before, or you guys just hit it off and everybody was just comfortable?
Yeah, no, Marv
Yeah, so
Nation
we met
shows.
on Marvin Nation.
Yep, but
Hmm.
you already know Shelly. She's easy to get along with. You talk to her and it's like you've known her forever. So she luckily she's been doing a lot of our shows, so it's been great. We
Yeah,
built a relationship from there, and but yeah, that's how we met through Marv Nation.
yeah,
Now she was Ring
yeah,
Girl
it's pretty.
of the year. When was that? Because I heard you announce something like that, Marco.
Oh my God, it
2019.
was, yeah, 2019. It was the first year, my first fight I ever ring girled at was in December 12th, 2018. And so January came by. Like it was just like they started announcing like, hey, we're gonna do ring girl of the year. So 2019 I was going against the, like, my idol ring girls, and I
Yeah.
was just like, what, like, no. But one thing about me is I'm a softball player, so I have a canyon. I was a catcher, I was
Oh,
first
you're an
base, so
athlete.
I
Okay.
you know
Okay.
I
Wait.
I
Hold on.
have the
When you played
I've been
softball, what position did you play?
that's what I'm telling you. So I'm really tall, so I was first, and then I was catcher, so first base and
Okay,
catcher.
so you had a cannon if you're playing catcher.
Oh yeah, I've been having a canyon, yeah. And so I've been, my city. Thankfully for my brother who put me in sports. I've always been around. I've been very popular because I'm in sports, and I was a pageant queen. I represented Chihuahua, Mexico. So it's just like I I know a lot of people. So I mean, it was through votes of the people. So I'm gonna say, like, I might not have a million followers yet on Instagram, but I have a million people here support in my real life of every day. So I'm just very blessed, and I did win, and I couldn't believe it, and yeah, it was really nice. So shout out to Supreme Boxing for doing that one.
Oh, there you go. And yeah, shout out to Nancy. I want to say this, Nancy
Yeah.
Rodrigues. I want to say this. Your whole life's about to change. And Marco, you're about to get some gigs that you never even thought you were going to get. Because I'm going to tell you something, and don't think that I'm weird or strange or anything. And this is facts. I dedicated this whole show to my son. Everything that I do, the fighter's voice. I lost my son. My son's in heaven. And I truly believe, and I've been saying it since I've done radio, that this show is blessed. Everybody that comes on this show, I'm telling you, everybody that comes on this show, it may not happen that next day or that next week, but their career prospers. I mean, it blows up. Let me tell you this: the Fernando Vargas brothers were on the show before the Vargas dynasty, before all that stuff. Andy Ruiz was on the show before he became heavyweight champion of the world. Noel G, who came on Fast and the Furious, he showed a picture of him and Robert De Niro. He came on the show. Afterwards, he was in a movie with Robert De Niro. Our co-host had dreams of becoming a police officer. After he left the show to pursue that, he's now a police officer. He's doing great. He's always wanted to train the police, and he's doing that. So God's no respecter of persons. So what he does for them, he's going to do for you. Trust me. Trust me with that. So
Mhm.
I just had to
And
say
that
that
is
and
something great
receive
to
that
hear. I
blessing,
do
because
have.
when you get those opportunities, just know God's hand is on this show, and he's on your whole lives, and he's on your whole
Mhm.
career.
And now I truly have faith in everything that you're saying, and I'm a true believer as well. And just hearing you say that is it's
Confirmation, brother. Iron
it
sharpens
makes me
iron.
feel good. Yeah, and I like I said, I learned about your situation, and my condolences. I know that your son would have been 21, right? That it was either last week or the week
And he would
before.
be he would have been, yeah, a little older than that, but it's
Oh,
yeah. To me, it's like brand new. To me, it's every day, it's every
yeah,
second.
it's
It's
always, yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you for your blessings. I know your son is very proud of you. And
Thank you.
hey, me and Marcos, we got another angel taking care of us. So thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Richard.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. You know, Shelly, you cannot see this right now, but I could just tell Marcos has on one heck of a t-shirt, but I just can't see it. It's not in the screen. So maybe if he stands up right now, there we go.
Oh,
There we go.
okay. You guys did me like that.
I got to send you one. I got to send you a
I'm over
V-neck
here
or
hating
a
on
tank
you,
top.
Marcos. Nice. No. That's very nice.
I got to take care. And
Next
see,
show, you're gonna have to bring her one.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm wearing this Top Rank
Let
boxing
me just put
promotion
it on my
T-shirt and hat because I'm waiting for Marv to kick down a Marv Nation T-shirt. He's been telling me that, so
Oh,
I
he
got a
hasn't
bone to
given you
pick with
one
him.
either. I'm gonna make that happen. If he hasn't given you one, I'm gonna make sure
He
you get
hasn't.
one.
He even said a hoodie when it was cold, and man, I don't even ask him anymore. And then I gave him a Fighter's Voice T-shirt, so maybe.
So now it's his turn.
Yeah, hey, absolutely. And it's not about
And
that.
even that story, I don't know if
What was that?
yeah, even the story of how I met Marv is a good story
Well, let's
too.
hear it. How did you meet Marv?
So so I had already been doing ring announcing, obviously with Joe. Joe connected me with an MMA, so I've done MMA. That was my first promoter that I latched onto. It was a local Orange County MMA promoter, so I worked with him for a while. And as you got to kind of grind. You got to send emails to promoters. So I found when Marvin was with Red Boxing, it said he was the president. I sent him an email. I think it was probably on a Monday.
Yeah.
And this is, talking about faith and talking about connections and talking about how things happen. I sent him that Monday. Saturday about 2:30, we had family over here from Mexicali. I get a phone call, 213. I'm like, all right, let me answer. I don't know who it is. Answer the call, and it's Marvin. And he's saying, hey, I got your email. It says, you're a ring announcer. You've done ring, jobs before, and we're in a need for somebody today. Are you able to come? Are you able to come over here at 5 p.m.? Because the ring announcer that they had, unfortunately, had to go to the hospital or something that day. And I went, did the show. Marvin loved, what I did. Um, and the rest is history. After that, he just stuck with me. He just said, you know what? For what you did, I want to be loyal to you, and I've always been loyal to him. I kind of, like if I have other jobs, if there's two on the same date, I'm gonna go with Marvin because, he's the one that kind of got me more steady into boxing, and that's more. I love MMA too, but I'm more of a boxing lover than MMA. It's just boxing's more my sport, so I just love doing the boxing shows. So that's that is another one that I'm telling you. It was meant to be, and here we are.
Well, I mean, I got something similar to say, but it wasn't the outcome that you got. So basically, Brady came in for Bledsoe, and as they say, the rest is history. When he had that opportunity,
Right.
I had a guy say he asked me during the week, "Can you ring announce?" I said yes. I agreed on a Tuesday. He replaced me on a Wednesday, so I said no problem, whatever. That's fine. It is what it is. That Saturday, he calls me. I remember my girl's making breakfast. He calls me at 9:00 in the morning, says, "Can you ring announce today, right now?" Not only did I bail him out and I changed everything because I had already had a beer in the morning, I showed up, I ring announced, and then he tries to lowball me. And then he tries to, but some promoters are a little different. That's why Marv, class act. He takes care of his people. So I learned a lot from that guy. I learned a lot to knowing about what he truly is. And, there's certain promoters that really do that. And he was an MMA amateur promoter from this area. So I'm not going to mention too many names, but it is what it is.
Right.
It is what it is. Hey, you got some flowers.
I think being in the
That's
game
blessing.
long enough, you're gonna get you're gonna get stories or a story like that or stories like that from different promoters, and it happens, I think, to all ring announcers at some point where something, unfortunately, promoters don't follow through with what they say.
No,
So
it took 8 days to get my money, and then he tried to give me a
yeah,
fraction. So and
yeah,
I bailed him out, but it is what it is. It's a learning experience. So I'm sure we all got some stories that are also good. And sometimes the truth is ugly, but there's nothing like the ugly truth. I'll take that all day.
right.
So Shelly, how did you contact Marv, or did Marv contact you, or was he going to book you for a fight? How did your paths cross?
Okay, so Roger Ruiz, he was the owner of Legends Boxing where I used to work at. I used to be front desk for him. He was Ryan Garcia's first manager, and so this man, he's been one of my really good friends, and he contacted me like, hey, they're looking for ring girls, and so I went and I was like, okay, like I like it. So so I was loyal to Golden Boy for many years. And then I was like, you know what, let me like open up. And so I went because Roger Ruiz, like the connection, I said, yeah. But I was mostly like getting people asking me like, hey, you want to do like MMA ring girl? And I was like, no, not really. Cause I'm more into boxing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, like, let me see. But so I went and I was like, okay, I like it. And I've been with them ever since. And I don't even remember what year this was, like 2 years ago. But yeah. So, so I've been, they say no more. It's Marv Nation family right here. Marco's me. So it's a strong bond, and I'm very thankful to be part of the team. And I can't wait for the fights coming up. And it's just like, they're also exciting. And like Marco said, I always look to go hit the punching bag because I'm like, I'm going to get a better score. So it's just fun. So if you don't see me in my ring girl seat, that's what I'm doing. I'm
There you go. So if you're not there, you're hitting the bag there.
Yeah, I'm always getting video too.
I want to see you do it.
Huh?
And that's good to know because I want to see you do it.
Yeah, it's just fun. I mean, this is maybe where I want to tell people like, and I hope like somebody hears where it kind of changes their life, because like people talk me out of like, oh, don't do it, don't do it, like don't do it. Like, just go do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
You're gonna have regrets, and I kind of do, because where I am now, and if I trained from then, I mean, I would have been a beast. I'm a beast now, but imagine what power and how my techniques and boom boom, like, oh man. I mean, I take notes every time I'm in a boxing gym. I mean a boxing fight, So I'm like taking notes, and it's fun. But I just, so follow, don't listen to people, do what you, but maybe it's my destiny, and maybe it will be yours, just kind of little regret, but my faith tells me like, hey, you're going the right way, trust the process, like, this is for you. But you did open, like, you never know what could happen. Maybe you'll see me fight another ring girl, or, maybe somebody gets me mad, and, somebody needs a bodyguard. No, I'm just kidding. There's no...
Well, that could happen. God, let me tell you a story, and this is the truth. This is the absolute truth. I'm watching a boxing. I'm watching boxing on TV. I'm not going to say what network it is or what promotion. I call Marv right then and there, and I call him. This is a true story. He answers the phone, and I said, bro, I just want to let you know this. Your ring girls are more professional. I didn't say that word. Are better looking and more sexy and more elegant than these girls I'm watching on TV right now. And I told him the promoter. I told him what channel it was on, and he just laughed. And I said, bro, I'm serious. And that was the truth. So
cool.
That's what happened. So are you blushing yet, or you're okay?
I don't think anything. At this point, I don't think anything phases Shelly.
No, but hey,
she's heard it all.
True story. I called him about 2 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago is when I called him, and I'm watching this fight on TV, and I was like, "Where are these ring girls?" I go, and I called him. I said, "Marv, I'm watching TV right now, and he's watching the show too." And I said, "Your ring girls basically knocked them out. Period." Mic drop. Nice. There you go.
Well, thank you for all the Marv Nation ring girls, like the future ones. And I think ring girls are so fun and beautiful. So shout out to all the ring girls. And I always start videos with like, hey, it's your favorite ring girl, Shelly. Because I give myself that crown, but they're all so beautiful. So to ring girls.
There you go.
You need us.
No, I like to say that too, that I need you guys too, because like I said earlier, I don't really like eyes on me, and I'm glad when you guys are up there, because I know the eyes aren't on me. You know what I mean? Like, they're hearing my voice, but they're not really looking at me, and so it makes me feel like more relaxed, because I know, okay, they're not looking at me by any means, like. Hey, Marco, that's why usually if you know, I always tell you, come up.
Marco, big thank you, like I thanked you before, for helping me out, because I didn't even know. I just said I'm gonna interview this guy, and then I didn't even put two together or realize. You go, do you know Spanish? And he goes, well, maybe he knows English. Well, let me find out. I said, well, stay here, okay, because you're gonna interpret. You go, I got this. And I go, okay, there you go, good job, you helped me out.
Yeah, no, and I'm gonna tell you what, like that's what I even told you. Please make the question short
I
because
did.
when I see translators out there, I know we. Well, if you don't really understand Spanish, there's some translators out there that are not very good, but there's
Yeah,
some really good ones.
yeah, there is.
And it's one of the hardest things to do on the fly. It's to translate like that to make because you want to try to get, especially with the fighter's responses, you want to try to communicate that to people that don't understand what he's saying. And for me, I always like to try to take my time, and I usually tell them, "Hey, keep it short so that I can translate you properly." You know, because it's really difficult. Sometimes you'll see and I'm sure you've seen it too with baseball. You see like the Japanese pitchers and stuff, and it sounds like they're saying like a sentence that's or like a paragraph,
Yeah,
and then the translator will say like three little words, and you're like, you know, he didn't get everything he
yeah.
said. You know, so I want to try to
Yeah.
get that.
Mhm. And you could tell that they appreciate it because I've seen I'm not sure who was translating for Canelo once, but he was like, wait, you didn't catch it, you didn't say everything I said. So I like how you know that it's just respect, like this is what I'm on the mic for a reason. I want to say something. My voice is something like so say everything I'm saying. So that's cool.
No, you did a good job, man.
Yeah, no, it's tough,
You did a good job. There used to
but
be
there's some good
there
ones.
was a professional uh uh what is it, translator, and he's talking to this fighter. I'm not going to put him on blast because he's been on the show before, a veteran of the game. He was interviewing Roberto Duran, and he didn't even, when they asked Roberto Duran the question, he didn't even give Roberto Duran the question. He just answered. You know what I'm saying? He just answered on his own
Without asking
because
him
he was so
anything.
fired up. He was so animated. He answered for him.
Jeez.
Like something like, would you
Well,
like a
that's
rematch? He goes, of course we want a rematch. Blah, blah, blah. And didn't ask Duran that. So he just went on his own. He was just
wow.
maybe he was caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'll text you his name
One
later.
of the guys that's really good out there. I don't know if you've seen him. He's actually from West Side Boxing. Like he's worked with them. Gabe Rivas. He's now, I don't know. He's not related to you, right, Shelly?
It's so funny. I used to be like, "Oh, hey, brother," At, in the boxing industry, being a woman, you get hit on like 100% of the time. So I'll be like, "Yeah, don't do that in front of my brother." And Gabe would be like,
Isn't he with Top Rank now?
"Yeah," and I'm like, "So where are you
He's
from?"
with
And
Top
he's
Rank now. Yep.
Yeah.
Salvadorian, and I'm Mexican, so that was interesting. But yeah,
So
I
Yeah.
shout out to
used
No,
to
Top
say
he's
Rank.
it all the time.
Top Rank. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's working a lot. He does Top Rank now, and he does a lot of the communications. He's doing a lot of. He still does some translations, and to me, he's probably the best in the game right now. Like when he translates, I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, he got everything. And that's what you want in the translator. But like what Shelly said earlier, I've seen Canelo work. Canelo now he speaks better English, but
Oh, he's home?
sometimes
Yeah.
he's not comfortable. He's told like, "Hey, you didn't. That's not what I said." You know, like you could see his face is
Yeah.
like, "This guy's not
That,
even getting what I'm
and I think
saying."
that's
So,
why he stepped it up. He's like, you know what? My English, I gotta step it up.
Hey, he speaks pretty good because I remember when he had a conversation with Eddie Hearn. He was being filmed, and for someone that's not comfortable talking, Eddie Hearn said something, and Carnell turned around and said, "Hey, it is what it is." And I was like, "Wow, this guy just jumped in there. He's feeling real comfortable." So kudos
and I know we can't all
for him
forget
making
that
the
press
effort.
conference where
He could have kept
in the
quiet, but
press
he makes
conference where
the
he just
effort.
started cussing in English.
Oh, he knows how to
You're like,
cuss.
okay, he can speak. He could speak. But yeah, sometimes they're not comfortable enough. But he seems more comfortable now, which is great.
Yes, he is. Shelly, do you have a cuss jar? Do you? Because maybe that'll pay for your vacation. Maybe that'll be you'll pay for yourself a vacation and just go wherever you want. Can you
Have
imagine
I
if we all had a
cussed since
cuss
I
jar?
like been on the show?
What was that?
Have I cussed
No,
once?
no, you have not. I'm just fooling around. I'm just
Okay,
messing around.
okay. I'm like, hold on. I'm over here. I'm over here behaving. Yeah, I mean, I'm
Behaving. You're over
Mexican.
here
There's a
behaving.
lot
That's
of
good.
like there's yeah, yeah, there's a lot of words I use. They're fun, when I can, yeah,
Well, I said we're to keep it real 100 tonight. I want you guys to feel comfortable and yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
yeah.
So
It's just
Marcos,
another
I mean,
word.
have you ever thought about doing
I'm
something
sorry.
like maybe voiceovers or commercials or when does it end? I mean, not just in the ring. That's a talent that you want to use more or get the opportunity. I say that because I should be trying to do that. I'm giving you advice that I should take myself, but I need to get on the grind more. And there's enough to go around for everybody. There really is.
There is. So I mean, one of the initial trainings that I did took was a voiceover training that was here in Orange County.
Oh wow.
Delmar Media Arts, I think is the name. It's
Okay.
pretty. I don't even know if it's still there, but this was years ago. So I did their voiceover training, and it's again, I was out of my comfort zone because they make you get out of your comfort zone in those type of classes, like
Yeah.
doing cartoon voices and making like. So
So
that was
fun.
actually really helpful for what I do now, which is because you want to have the right fluctuations
Yeah.
and enunciations as you're like as you're going through the show. So that's kind of helped. But I've never pursued that actual type of work. To me, I was like, you know what, I like doing this boxing thing and doing ring announcing because, like what Shelly said earlier, you're ringside. You get to see the fights right there, like right ringside and in the ring with the fighters. And the one thing that
Live.
I always try to do
Live.
the one thing I always try to do that I always like, I even tell ring announcers that ask me things, up and coming ones that say they want to do it. I say, don't make it about yourself because all we're there to do is introduce the fighters. My job is to hype up the fighter right before he's going to fight. So I want to try to hype up the crowd and the fighter. But there's some ring announcers, as you know, that try to make the show about themselves. I don't know if you saw the one guy that was in Australia a
I
couple
did.
weeks ago and throwing up the ring cards, and like he wanted to make the show about himself, and
That's
that's
after he
not,
made an
in my
error.
opinion, that's not my job as a ring announcer. It's my job is to just introduce the fighter as best I can and hype up the crowd. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Professional.
no, I hear you, and yeah, I remember him doing that. And I thought about LeBron James, or I don't know what he was doing. Maybe it was something
Right.
different. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, you got to make it about the fighters, and you always try to say their name the way their family says it, and because they go to sleep at night dreaming when I get announced, this is what I'm going to do, or the ring walk, everything, and yeah, I agree with you,
That is true.
Shelly. I'm gonna say
And that's
this.
the one thing.
No, no, go ahead. I
I'm
want to hear
sorry.
Marco. What'd you have to
So,
say?
so the one, no, the one thing I do that I don't know if everybody does it, but Joe kind of showed me this from the beginning is a lot of times you're going to get the bout card or the bout sheet, and you're going to see their names one way, but they want to be announced as a different way. So I literally will talk to every fighter that's on the card, ask them what hometown they want, because to me, I think that's important. A lot of fighters are really proud of where they're from, and they really want you to say where they're from. And sometimes it says box rec, they're from Los Angeles, but they're really from, Downey. And they're like, no, 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 not LA. I want Downey. And so I'll talk to them and then I'll say, okay, your name. How do you want me to say it? This in some it's a shame because some fighters I've experienced this before where they're like, no, they always pronounce my name this way, but it's wrong. You can say my name. Sometimes they're very Hispanic names or something. I go, yeah, I can say your name, of course. And so sometimes you could tell that they appreciate me doing that, but that's all from Joe taught me that. He just said, sometimes you're going to get the wrong information. It's
Yes, that
happened to
happened
me where
Saturday.
sometimes it says the trunk colors and it's not. Oh yeah, Saturday because the bout card that they literally changed it at the last minute.
Yeah,
So if I wouldn't have told you like, hey, we're changing the order, you may have been off,
I
and
would have been
and
off.
even like the guy Falcon, that wasn't even anywhere on BoxRec. He said that's not even his name. He wanted Falcon, and I was like, okay, well, whatever you want. And so I do what they want. Sometimes it's not going to match the TV, but I just want to make the fighter feel as best he can. So
Well, that's good.
Like Richard was saying, like they dream of that moment.
Yeah.
They're the ones putting in the work every single day, going to sleep at a certain time, the dedication, everything that they're doing. So it is a big deal. So you guys
I've
are
had one
great.
experience when I was ring announcing. The fighter literally, when he's circling around, his management team say, "Hey, call us this nickname." I mean, right there at the very last moment, and I just said, "I'll do what I can," and I'm trying to. So I'm trying to mentally write it down. Sometimes it's time to go. Sometimes I can try to get it in and keep it fresh. I don't want to think about him when I'm introducing somebody else, and mistakes do happen because sometimes they won't give you the
absolutely,
proper information. You got to be witty and you got to have a short memory and just move on from it. And yeah,
yep,
yeah. To me, that's one of the toughest things that I've done. And one of the toughest things I've done, it was for Toscano Promotion. I ring announce from ring announcing. I jumped in the commentating booth. From the commentating booth, I would go interview the winner. So all in
wow,
one night, introduce the fighters,
that's a
go to
lot.
the commentating booth, step back in the ring, introduce the winner, and then you're ready to introduce the other fighter. So I knew what card to have, when to mark them off. And sometimes, I mean, it could be real hectic, but as long as I was left alone, the best thing is when I was ring announcing, being alone, not being, except if they're a promoter. The only one I listen to, I said, well, if you're a promoter, I'll change it. Other than that, and I would tell a promoter, I'm not going to listen to anybody else coming up to me, no teams or anything, just the promoter, just you. I would tell whoever
Right.
was promoting the fight. So everybody does it differently. And it sounds like you got some great advice, and you were actually put in a great place. So, man, that's a great opportunity, especially Joe, one of the best in the world. I also like Loopy. Loopy is awesome. I mean, when you talk to him, it's like he has an amplifier in his chest. I mean, it's just he just has that voice.
Yeah, no, I haven't had a chance to meet Lupe yet, but yeah, no, he's good.
Very, very humble guy, very nice guy. You know, there's a lot of good ring announcers out there. I'm sure that you know a lot of them. Shelly, let me ask you this. Say, in fact, it does take place. You're going to have this big exhibition fight. You're going to have one fight just because out of your bucket list. What's going to be your walkout song?
Ooh, ooh. You know how hard that is for a girl? Ooh, okay. It's going to be a woman, so it's going to be, ooh, I don't know if it's going to, okay. We're going to put the song right now.
Let's put it on right now. And there's a couple songs you like, then we could throw a mix. You know what I mean?
Dude, is it gonna be? I just love her, and she'll walk out with me.
There you go.
That would be my dream. Oh, I could see it already. And wearing pink.
And you know what?
My girl, it's Tusa.
And when you walk out, you're going to embrace it all. You're going to be so comfortable. You're going to be in the moment. It's going to be your moment.
Yeah,
So another thing, who's going to design your wardrobe, and what colors are you going to use?
It would be IG Mob. I got my own back, JR. Actually, he's the reason why I met Roger Ruiz. So he's the best designer, the best boxing designer. So he used to make shirts and go to boxing fights, and he would sell them. You know, he'll have a little booth. And now, I mean, he's done everybody. You know, I'm so proud of him. So I was just I was modeling for his brand. It was just, you know, something so random. He got me, and then it would just be perfect. It has to be JR from I Got My Own Back. That would be amazing.
I know who he is. I connected Hector Macho Camacho Jr. to him so he can make his walkout wardrobe. Junior used to send me hats and T-shirts that were ironed on. So I remember the hustle. And I remember we would talk, you know, for an hour and a half on the phone. We'd call each other. We'd text each other. Mm-hmm. And the other day I said, give me a call. And he left a voicemail, said, bro, let me know. I need more information, then give me a call. So I got one job that I gave my girl. She said, no matter how big I get or how busy I get, she said, Richard, always keep your feet on the ground. And people,
you know,
people
I just want to give him a shout out.
No knock on him at all.
He does do my gear already.
I think he's one of the best.
So,
but
you know,
I would always make time for my people that I started off with all the time.
And it's so he's done this. It's
that's nice.
I love him for this. I have a white suit and a black one. So for sure him.
Yeah, absolutely. When you saw Marky, he did Marky's jacket, the one that was in the ring, the one who
the one he was wearing. Yep. Nice.
With the
they have to see some more.
Absolutely. So you got everything all figured out.
That's his line. That's the motto.
There you go. So what brand shoes are you gonna have? Are you gonna have Nikes? You're gonna have Adidas, Puma, and what gloves? You're gonna have Reyes gloves?
I'll probably. Oh my God! Stop with this. Stop making this. Now I want to just get the outfit, just even if I don't do it. It's gonna.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I think this is too much
fun.
It would be like some Cortez looking pink shoe, white high top. I don't know. I would definitely get some. I don't know. It's what's meant to be would be, but and then gloves. I don't know.
Hey, ones that will fit your nails, that'll protect your nails. How's that? Like Marco said.
You know what? So I don't always have long nails. I did a video with Snoop Dogg and his wife 2 days ago for a grand opening business that they have happening tonight that I will be part of. But it was literally just for show. I don't always have long nails. I
Okay.
don't. So yeah,
Well, we'll make the
it will be
adjustment
random because
if
I
that
have
in
to.
fact takes
Yeah.
place.
So, yeah, so sometimes I'll be, I'm a car girl. So come buy a car with me. I'll take you anyways. So sometimes I'm like opening up hoods and looking for leaks. So I don't always have long nails. So it'll be like, oh, I have a fight and I have time. Or like, hey, I have this, so I have to get my nails. I kind of just go with the what style I'm going, like what kind of shoot it is or whatnot. But you know what I mean.
Exactly. Whatever requires for you to be successful and for you to embrace everything that you're doing.
Yeah, it's just fun,
Exactly. Exactly.
Like I love changing my hairstyle. I don't know. It's just fun being a girl.
Well, okay. Hey, you have options and you have choices. Marco, I want to
Yep.
ask you this. What's the most difficult thing you had to overcome when you were ring announcing, where it was just on the spot and you had to just fix it right then and there on the fly?
Ooh, that's a good question, Marco.
That's like a hard question. I don't know if I've had anything like what you said, like on the fly, where somebody changed. The hardest thing sometimes is like what happened Saturday, where they changed the bout order literally like 30 minutes before. And remember, I even told you. And then the other piece is we almost had one of the fights fall out, and then it went into it as an exhibition.
Yes.
So just last minute changes, I got to say that's probably the hardest thing. I haven't, like I said, had anybody tell me, "Oh, say this at the last minute." The other thing I could say probably is when they have like a presentation or they have somebody's going to come and sing the national anthem, but I don't have any of the info. Nobody gave me anything, and I literally got to go scrambling around looking, okay, who is it? Bring the person over here, ask them all the questions so that I can just write it down really quick and then try to do a proper intro, because that happens quite often to where they give you things last minute. Like even this weekend we had Abner Mares, and I didn't know when it was going to happen. I literally had to ask Marvin, when are we doing this? And they said, okay, we're going to do it right after this fight. Okay, all right. Luckily, I had that prepared, but sometimes you're not,
That was
and
a
you just
great
got to
introduction, by the way.
scramble and get the stuff. Yeah, that I had prepped, though. If it would have been last minute, it probably wouldn't have been as elaborate, but luckily I already knew that was going to happen. But sometimes we've had it where they want us to introduce a card for the next week, and, it's fighters I've never met before, and you're asking them questions in the ring. That's
I
a little
remember that.
difficult,
That
too.
was
So.
about 2 fights ago. I remember you doing that.
Right, and you just on the fly got to just ask questions. And sometimes I don't like to ask like the same boring questions, but when it's last minute, you really have no choice to. I don't know them, If I knew them, at least I could say, "Hey, you're from here, or you fought here, or something." But when you don't know them or anything, that's where it becomes tough.
Absolutely.
Now Shelly's taking a selfie.
I'm just looking at Shelly. Hey,
Oh,
she's
yeah. I have to
being
be like,
herself.
hey guys.
She's being herself.
Sorry.
I'll tell you something similar, Marco. Tyson Fury's coming down the line, and all these reporters, they're asking him questions, and I already know what I'm going to kind of ask them. Then someone else asks him the same question.
Same question.
So I had to think real fast. I remember he was wearing a WBC suit, and he wore some Nike shoes that matched. So I just went in. I went all in. I said, not only you, the heavyweight champion of the world, you're looking fly, you're looking sweet, everything. You got the drip on, but look at the shoes, the WBC shoes. And he embraced it. He gave me all his attention. The photographers were going crazy. So I'm kind of glad they asked the questions that I was going to ask, or I wouldn't have had to challenge myself and, make basically like I told Marv, because one fight he made steak out of salad. So I was dealing with a salad. I made steak out of it. So sometimes you just got to, gamble and dive all in. And when I say that, it's because they almost shut down the fight, and Marv made it happen. I think with 4 fights, maybe 3. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but
No,
that
it went
show
down to
was
3.
awesome.
It went down to 3.
That ain't. And that
Yeah,
was a
it
great
went down
show.
to 3. That was.
He brought singers
Yeah.
in there, entertainers at the right time. I mean, yeah, he showed me that day that being a good promoter is not just selling tickets and not just being who you are. It's when your back's against the wall and how you perform and how you handle it. And he did a great job.
Yep.
He did a great
Yeah,
job.
he did.
So, Shelly.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, how are you gonna pay? How are people gonna pay their money? And there's only 3 fights, But luckily, yeah, he brought the entertainers and spread out the show a little bit, spread out the love, and it came out all right. Yeah,
He had the couches and the VIP. He made it happen.
Yep.
He sure did. So, shout out to Marv Nation and his son. Looks spectacular. Nathan and yeah,
he looks sharp. Yeah,
he looks sharp. Those body shots, and I mean, you're sitting right there next to me, and you saw him too, Shelly. Those were great fights, great matchups.
Yeah, like I love when boxers can and are able, and like ready to go to the next fight. He's fighting in Texas June 28th, so
Hey,
that's big, in El Paso. So I'm just like, okay, you just fought, you ready to go. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
cool.
that's good. Him, and also you got Fernando Vargas Jr., who's also on the card, and that's going to attract a lot of people, and I mean, the whole Vargas family and what they're doing. Um, so Shelly,
Yeah, I mean, I Texas fans are amazing. I traveled
I was about to
before,
ask you, have you ever been there? So
and
okay, go for it.
so yeah, so I'm excited for that fight. I really am. The Texas, there's something about Texas fans. I love LA, but there's
Oh, they're
just
fight fans.
Texas fans are shoot. They love
Yeah,
boxing.
yeah. I mean, you got Virgil Ortiz who's
Just
from Texas. You got Bam Rodriguez who's from
yep.
Texas. You
That's
got
that's
Joshua
the fight I
Frankel
did
that's
over.
from Texas, and the one of the legends, Jesse
Yep.
James Leja's from Texas, and you got some good fighters there, and they love the fights. They really do. And
Yeah.
actually, even Errol Spence. I mean, it doesn't stop.
Hmm.
Boxing
Yep.
is taking over the world. I mean, look at in Dubai. There's fights in Dubai now. You got one of the biggest, richest
Yeah.
people in the world who's making these fights happen because he paid Tyson Fury $150 million, and Usyk got 50 million. It ain't like, oh, pobrecito, hey, I'll take that. But I guarantee you, on the rematch, the tables will be turned.
yep. I think they already did the date already, December or
Yes,
something.
yes,
Yeah, that's it.
it's going to be announced. Now,
Like
this last one is for you, Shelly, and then I'm going to give one to Marco.
okay.
Shelly, if you had any words of advice to give to Ryan Garcia, what would it be?
To Ryan Garcia, I would tell Ryan Garcia that I'm very proud of him. That life is not perfect. That I remember seeing him at the gym, and he's always wanted to strive, and he knew where he was going, and I seen how when people were trying, he never lost his value. He Everybody wanted to like sponsor him or some work with him, and he'll be like, yeah, but this is my goal, this is what I'm manifesting, I want more. And I just seen his energy, and I remember being at the gym listening to a Drake song, I'm upset. And he was like, hey, like, don't listen to that. So I just remember that his mind is, he's always had a
Driven.
pure heart, and a strong like hunger to fight, and I respect him, being pretty and shit, I understand that. So I'm
All
just
day
like,
long,
like, yeah, you
dressed in
model and
white.
people are gonna hate on you, but you do you. And life, like, we all know this, like, don't always believe what you hear and stuff like that. So but I'm not like there witnessing, every moment, but I just want to say that I'm proud of you, and you went really far. And like, I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, I mean,
And I don't know, and everybody goes through different journeys, and you're living yours, so keep it
well,
up.
this is what I would tell him. Okay, I would just say, do this again and say this again.
Okay, estoy en un podcast ahorita.
I would say that all the
Can
time.
you
It just kind of
please?
stuck in
I
my
want to
head.
hear
So I
it. I
just kind of,
couldn't hear.
would hold on to that. I think that's great advice. I think that's a good thing that you would tell him because he'd receive it from you because I'm sure he remember you and respect it coming from you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been selling cars for a long time, so actually, he used to drive, like, and I used to drive him around too sometimes. Like, we grew up together in that, like, those years where he was right out of the Olympics. So it's just cool. I said, shout out to his family and everybody. We're all living our own journeys, and we all have different struggles, and we're not alone. We all have each other, and hopefully, he has his team and his family, and everybody's just, we all want the best for each other. Period.
Absolutely. We're with his mom in Las Vegas, and during the time we're having a conversation, she just pulls a slot machine and won $13,000. So money goes to money.
Ooh.
It's just like nothing. So she's there sitting there waiting to get paid off, and Ryan does look like his mom. Yeah,
Whoa,
true story. True story. Marco, if
good.
you were on the advised team for Tyson Fury, taking his first loss ever, just lost his belt, was called at one time the face of boxing. What advice would you give him going into this rematch and dealing with the public and just dealing with that loss? What would you tell him?
Kind of like what Shelly said, for him to remain positive. Like, he's already done so much in his career. You know, one loss. Almost every great fighter that you've seen has an L on their record. So an L doesn't really mean that you can't continue. I mean, that he can have this L and still regain his belts coming back, you know, in December. So, you know, he's that type of guy that I don't even think it doesn't even faze him that he lost the belt. I think he still feels like he's a champ and he got robbed, and he's going to go in there and try to prove it. So for him, I mean, I don't doubt that he can go in and win the next fight, make some adjustments, and do what he does. You know,
Hey,
he's one of those guys that you see that to me, it amazes me how big he is and how slick, and he doesn't look like he's in shape all the time, but he's slick and he's athletic. He can move, his head movement, his feet, everything. Like, you're like, this guy fights like a smaller, quicker guy, but he's huge.
I used to call him the Larry Bird of boxing because people would look at Larry Bird and say, oh, this guy's nothing. He can't hoop. Before you know it, he's winning championships and taking everybody to the hole and just clowning them. So
that's a good one.
I love when people doubt you.
They do. So, Shelly, okay, it's time now. You're going to open your gym. You got the equipment in there. They're going to cut the ribbon. Everything's there. There's cameras there. There's media's there. What is your gym called?
Now you're going to put it in that name.
It would be called Sangre.
Sangre?
Yeah. Sangre.
That's actually a good one.
There you go.
I like it.
You.
Hashtag that.
Like, I'm always like,
future gym.
Yeah. Sangre. Yep.
There you go. There you go.
I can't wait.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Richard Ortiz. I appreciate it. I met your wife. She's amazing at the fight. So it's good to be connected with you guys. And Marcos, I just see you growing and growing, and I'm so proud of you. Don't stop. And there's more, you know, just me and you, we shine together. So it's been amazing working with you as well.
I appreciate that. Same to you. Like, you've taken me under your wing too, though, because you've been in the game a little longer than me as far as like with the bigger promoters and stuff. So thank you for sharing your wisdom too.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Shelly, how do the fans stay in tune with you? I mean, what's your Instagram? What's your Twitter? Let them all know so they could follow you.
All right, guys. So if you guys follow me, I love giving away tickets too. So I'll like purchase some if I don't get some. And I just want people to come see me and support me, you know, and watch really good fights. So I will be showing you guys my Instagram. So that it's CHELLYRIVAS_. So follow me. I'm pretty exciting. I do a lot of stuff. So follow me, and then sometimes I do free tickets. I've been doing that just so I could grow as well and share moments with, you know, it could be my friends or somebody who's available to go to a fight. So
there you are. Make sure you follow her. Get on her Instagram, and you'll be entertained with her short clips of videos. And she's very talented. Marco, how do we stay in contact with you?
So I have the IG announcer _Marco and then _RDRGZ, like Rodriguez. I just shortened it.
There you go.
It's a long name.
There you go.
This is him right here.
There I am. Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you watch them, you support them, give them a like. If they got a YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you have not subscribed to the Fighters Voice YouTube channel yet, it's www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. Remember, there you go. Every fighter has a voice, and so do you. I want to thank our guests. The beautiful, talented Shelly is making it happen. And the man with the voice, the ring announcer himself, Marco.
Thank you, guys. No, thank you for the opportunity and for having us on. It's been a great experience. And we're going to continue follow the Fighter's Voice. Make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel because I know he has a lot of great interviews on here. So continued success to you. I appreciate your support and your kind words and helping me out on Saturday. That was awesome.
Hey, it was good working with you, bro. And I love to work with you both into the future. And I do like
And
Marv Nation. I like what it presents. I like what it brings. And yeah, there's no promotion like Marv Nation. The only nation that matters is Marv Nation. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. As always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
And so do you.
and don't forget June 29th, June 28th,
June 29th,
The
June
Zone.
28th.
Yep.
Marv Nation.
Friday, June 28th, Marv Nation on the Zone and live from El Paso. So make sure you tune in and check us out.
There you go. Hey, you heard it from the ring announcer himself, Marco Rodrigues. And of course, CHELLY Rivas, you're making it happen. Your career is blossoming. It's blowing up. And we're going to have this interview out before you know it. We're going to have some fun with the clips. And everybody's going to share it and like it. And it's going to go far. And as always, this is the best part of the show. As always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, the special guests, and all the crew, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.